Hello, everybody. I'm really glad to be participating in Digital Dragons 2021. So today, let's talk about self-publishing. I can see that this trend is becoming more and more popular, especially for someone that has a specific set of values or mine, like, they want to have full control of the game, don't give up the key, or just be your own boss. Or even like they have problems with, or bad experience with publishers, either with contracts, slow progress, or other things of dispute. So today I'm going to talk about the most important factors of publishing. Well, due to the time limitation as well. Of course, the whole topic is very vast, but I hope after this presentation you can answer one simple question. Is self-publishing suitable for me? Can I do it? I hope some of the things might help you to self-publish as well. Well, wait, so our company or me didn't self-publish any of the games, so why are we talking about self-publishing? Sure, our company main business was always the mediation tool, but actually this is not important. From some time on, like almost 2 years, we have our own free accelerator program for innovative mobile game developers. And in this program, we actually assist them during the whole publishing process, whatever we want to do. So we actually have almost 1,000 different cases of developers trying to publish, and actually most of them, huge amount of them actually choose to self-publish. So actually right now, about the self-publishing, I think there is main two ways of self-publishing. You can either focus on organic users or buy them in our user acquisition, right? And actually this picture shows exactly more or less how big amount of user acquisition there is on market instead of the organic users, let's say like that. So you can see a lot of them, they're doing like mixing, so some type of organic user acquisition, and of course user acquisition actually boosts up a little bit your organic user as well. But these companies that are doing organic users, they're let's say not that much from there's not so many cases of that. So so there are two main ways to go. Either focus on organic users, and you need to have a good social media presence and promote the content, cooperation with different app stores like Google Play App Store or Apple's App Stores or Huawei Store. You can always talk to them to have your game featured, which is gonna greatly help your organic users. You can optimize the App Store page, so SEO optimization, like keywords, game name, package name, landing page, or having good screenshots with proper little text to guide the users, or have the video, promotion video, and so on, nice descriptions, and so on. And also you can have free promotion, like, hope that some platform channel will see your game and post an article or gameplay of a video or so on. So actually, this type of self-publishing, in our experience, is mostly specific for some type of games, like racing games, like drifting games, but a lot of them have like that. Classic card games, classic board games, anything classic, let's say like that, words game, some other. I can see that there was some things that are actually focused on organic users, and there are also different exceptions of the rule. So if the graphics or creativity of the gameplay, the creativity is very unique, then definitely you'll be more highly to be actually possible to be featured on Google Play or App Store. I might help you with that, or even publish some article about your game that will drive your organic users. That's for sure. But actually, let's say honestly, most of developers, people decide or have to go with buying users. So either you do the UA, user acquisition, and you can choose in the right platform. Is it the Google, Facebook, or ad networks that you have? With the beginning, definitely using Google or Facebook is great. Facebook is great, can help you analyze your users and preferences. Where Google have a great AI to actually, push the right campaigns to the right people. And as well, we can cooperate with KOLs, which have a little more of the budget, or with the less budget, the medium budget. You can still cooperate with some social media accounts, channels, and platforms that this is gonna help you with promotion, getting your users, actually buying a user through them, and then have some deal with that. So actually, when it comes to the acquiring users, suitable for our type of games, even the games that have racing games normally have organic users. They're even boosting their organic users and buying more users from this way. And yeah, it might be costly if not done well. So you might realize at the beginning that there's something wrong if the price is bad. It's either you didn't do your user acquisition well, or maybe just your game isn't suitable for market, let's say. So yeah, let's focus on the UA part, because that's the big thing, and let's make a plan and see what we can do. So the main things, 10 things to do, in my opinion, is first thing, choose the right type of test. So what kind of test you're gonna do for user acquisition? Are you gonna do the CPI, CTR test? What are you gonna mostly focus on? And there are different tests, of course, but actually for self-publishing beginners, we'll definitely focus on these two, CPI or CTR. The next one is choose the right platform. So as we say, Google, Facebook, Ad Network, make sure that you know this platform and you adjust all the content about that, especially ad creatives. Research your target audience and region. This is very important. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend just go to the #1 market, or most appealing market like United States, or the most good markets like Japan, because they might be quite expensive, let's say. Make sure that your game is accepted in this market or is popular right now, this type. What you think might not what actually is in the market. That's why having a special research to see what kind of gameplay, like for example, is your gameplay popular in this region or in which regions, or how about your graphics? Is this graphics popular in your region, or in which kind of regions? And you can, by gathering all the data, you can see maybe which region will be the best that will accept your graphics, will have a great gameplay. Of course, if you have like the gameplay is kind of more like a hybrid, which is joining different gameplays, then you can actually research them both and see if you can see a region in this planet that actually will be very popular for both of them. And optimize your game according to the target audience, or actually the most is about the CPR, CTR test. So make sure that it's ready for the test. Next one, very important, integrate analytics platform and set up an even tracking point. So this one will help you to put the important things to track in your game, and then later you can analyze it. Like, is your game not suitable to publish, or maybe there's some problems with it that actually may be fixed, and you can do the test again, and after testing maybe you can reach that positive ROI. So next one, creative, innovative ad creatives. So yes, at least have a couple of them for A/B testing. Don't leave one ad creative that might be cool, even though you think that your App Store video is really nice and very attractive. That might be not how ad creatives work. And set up your monetization mediation platform according to target regions. So make sure that you have some waterfall setup, so you have the most income from this market, or AAPs. Like you have different region that have different, let's say, wealth, and here you got like special Big Mac index to help you see how much Big Mac is costing around the world, and actually you can adjust your IAP according to that. We have one developer actually made his own beer index, which is really cool, which actually check what is the normal beer price in different in different regions that actually his game was popular, and then he adjusted to it, and he can see more up. So his idea is like, if they can afford one beer, they can definitely afford one of my purchases. So yeah, setting that, then running the campaigns, analyze the data, draw conclusions. So what is the two conclusions you're gonna have? You're gonna have either there's some hope, let's optimize again, let's try it again, or let's just drop it. The test is really bad. We don't know what's happening, where's the problem lies. So when it comes to CPI CTR tests, let me explain it a little bit more. CPI is for the games that actually have some pretty good playable beta or alpha. It's mostly actually, the beta, and they have all the, you can still enjoy the game for some time and actually have all the systems inside and UI and so on. So this helps you for more thorough tests and precise tests. You can analyze the early retention or the whole retention if the game is well done or completed enough. Session length or important even tracking points to find out where you're losing the players. This is important, or if they get your game, if they understand your game. Another one, another check your basic monetization data, so you can see it's how you can go back and you can actually analyze the ROI or iOS and so on, and you can analyze the target audience depending on the platform you're making. Like like for example, Facebook can help you really well analyze your preferences of your users or target your campaigns. So depending on the platforms you have, but you can still mostly via the mediation platform or so on, you can still check their target audience preferences. There's remarks, it's higher cost, of course, but you got more data, so you understand better if you should continue or not. Next thing is CTR test. Is mostly like when you have a very basic game, very early alpha or a very early beta that you cannot play that much, but you still have understanding the core mechanics of the game, how it looks, or you have just a couple levels set up to it. So in this way, like, you don't need to have the whole game, and you don't focus on later how the people say what is the retention, how people are staying, where you're losing them because your game's not enough. You're checking how actually this graphic style gameplay is attractive for the target audience. So you can see like how they like it. So if you push the ads and they see the ads, they click on the ad, then they go into the landing page or your App Store page, right? This is actually the click-through rate. You can check it. You can check the data. So if they're clicking, how many people are seeing the ads and clicking it, and thanks to that you can see if this is good enough or not. And this is why because you don't waste your time. It's especially good for like hyper casual games or casual games, and then you can actually realize that maybe the game is not good enough. Maybe you just go to the next idea, or maybe you just it's really good and the people like it, so let's continue and let's develop, and then maybe you can do the CPI test. Another thing is about the CTR test that we don't have the actual game, so this quite puts a lot of weight on ad creatives. The ad creative needs to be good. If they're not gonna attract the person, and maybe the whole idea of the game might be missed a bit. And the low positivity of innovative ad creatives due to basic gameplay, because you're not gonna have like 5 different ad creatives. Probably you're gonna figure out 2, 3 at tops, because what do you actually got from the gameplay? So this is a lower cost, but it's less data. So it's something to consider when you're gonna test. And another big thing is analyze your data. So I think the main purpose of user acquisition, especially in the early stages, is to understand your game and see where the problems are. Throughout the good data analysis, you have a better idea what to do next. So I will pay attention to this couple of things. First, very basic. Most people do know it, but let's just say it again. Track and enter level fail, level succeed, and create a funnel to see where's the biggest players churn, or maybe which levels might be repeated because they're so nice. So you can better focus on these ones. Track ad placements and see which ads have the best performance and which ones are useless. You can see later which ads they're actually using or not. Maybe your similar game, or if you have the same gameplay, core gameplay, they actually have for example, skip the level ad button, but in your game it's not needing so much, so you can just omit it in the next releases. You can actually delete that thing. Track all the extra boosters, power-ups in the game. All the highlights of your gameplay. If you have any tools that need to equip or anything, track anything that you can, and then actually you can see if the people actually understand your game, and maybe they're not using booster as they should, or at least you wish that the game was designed for. So maybe you can see what's wrong with that, or maybe the tutorial is not good enough and they're missing that. So thanks to that, you can actually understand oh, they're not using this or this. Maybe we should fix something about that. And yeah, after having all the tracking points, you can actually go and calculate the ROI, ROIS, and LTV, especially when it comes to CPI tests. In the CTR test, you won't have that much data, you won't have the income from the ads, so definitely this is not for the CTR test. Best practices, research your target region and audience. Yes, this is something very important to me, repeat again, that having a good research and about where to go and where's your audience is very important. This game type may be popular in, might not be popular in the United States that you were targeting. Maybe other regions better. Maybe other regions will accept your thing, and so you can actually do the first test in a similar region, but a little bit cheaper region. What I mean that, when you have you want to go to the United States and actually have the preferences of United States audience, and your game fits that, maybe you can try first Canada, which is very similar in taste, let's say, but a little bit cheaper when it comes to user acquisition. Or maybe you have a hyper casual game and you can research the target audience where, for example, the Indian market is pretty good for hyper casual games. The same thing for the United States. So maybe you can just do India on your first try. Of course, if you use a second, third try, or so on, or you're very sure about your game, then yes, go for US. But I would rather not spend that much money and see at the beginning where the problems lies. Maybe the problems are not that big, and you can test it a little bit with cheaper, less budget, and you can understand the game, how it works, what are the problems, and then actually you can attack the region that is your target region. Adjust the ad creatives according to the preferences of your target audience. So yeah, here there's only, I think, for some specific regions like China or Asia in general, or maybe MENA region, then you need to actually adjust your thing to the ad creative. So this is also very important to localize it. And I wouldn't stop campaigns after 3 days, especially that the bidding data will be very messy. It might be really good or really bad, and you might draw bad conclusions out of it, or too good conclusions out of it. So that's why after 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days normally, on the 5th day, 4th day, the data is stabilized, and you can see, especially when it comes to Google, when it's run by AI and there's actually adjusting it and trying to put the best target your ads. Another thing is acquire at least 1,000 users, because if you don't do it, the data will be not, let's say, it might be just a coincidence that you have a good data or bad data. So at least 1,000 users, you can actually get the idea if the data is precise enough. Set up properly even tracking points, as we said before. This is very important. Don't start even your user acquisition before you do all the things and recheck it double. And of course, I'll try again. If the test results, initial test results, not that bad, I will definitely recommend to try again and see. Maybe the first one you can realize the game, some of the bad problems with it, and you can say oh, this is pretty easy to fix. I understand how you fix it, so you can fix it and just try again. See if the data is going up or is just staying more or less the same, and that's no problem with that. So about the ad creatives, couple of things. Let me just play you. Yeah, one of our developers' games is Hero, really cool, nice game about when you actually, it's an endless runner and you're running around and you're collecting some stuff and avoiding aliens. It's really cool graphics and great gameplay. Actually, what can you do with it when it's just an endless runner? What kind of activities can you make? So I will research the different type of ads of the game that you see which one are popular. And you can maybe get inspirations from them, or you can even see them making very similar. There's a huge, recently for some time already, about the merge action games. They have the merge mechanics in it, but a lot of games that actually don't have it, but it was very popular. Was guiding them and saying oh, that's a cool way. So yeah, and you should play a different after it, definitely. Around 5 of them. Let's see this one. So here we're emphasizing the actually feeling, emotional, crashing the crate and then actually choosing what you got, the car. So you're showing the different graphics of it, and this is very important. You should highlight your graphic style, highlight your core gameplay, highlight your visual and sounds, and create many special effects that will guide and player and exaggerate. So, when you get that creative, like, woohoo, right? So then it's a great sound, and there's any other stimulants as well. Here, we focus mostly on the graphic style. We're showing you how cool it's actually the card is drawing. There's no such a mechanics in the game, but actually it shows how we actually emphasizing the graphics of the game. You can see how cool is it, simple graphics, but it's really amazing. Well, developers are from Cuba, so you can see the inspiration of the cars that they have put it in the game. And here we emphasize our core gameplay, So here you can have different boosters, and here you see he got some bad ones you cannot see. But here, after getting another one, you have that cool boosters in the game, that actually balloons, you can fly over different obstacles, and you can still collect the thing. So this is a very cool, interesting way of showing that in this games. So yeah, self-publishing. To finish, important questions after all I said. That you need to ask yourself: can you handle the workload? Can your company outsource some of these things? Can you actually, do a longer plan than you have? Or if you have enough tools for it, or a budget for it? This is all very important, because it's going to take probably longer time than you expected. So you need to be prepared for that. Let me say one example of our partner from AdTiming, and actually this is an amazing game. Ares Forest is made from Studio Kinoko in Australia, and they make very innovative tower defense game, as you say. They bring a tower defense in a 3D natural environment. The design is just mind-blowing, in my opinion. The whole project took some time to make, actually a couple of years, slowly, especially that this art piece was done by just 2 developers. You can see how amazing the trees looks, and the graphics and the visuals are made. So actually the graphics of the trees are made very innovative by them traveling to Japan and 3D scanning the trees in special forests, and a very amazing design of the shapes of the trees. So actually they 3D scanning all these trees that are natural, real trees that are in the real world. So actually in the initial test UA, they have some organic growth, and they have some feature in the gameplay that actually help them somehow. But then they want to, they still need to do the UA part to actually have a big time, to have more downloads, have more income. And actually in initial UA test, they realized that the game is mostly mid-core towards hardcore, but they actually targeted casual players, and the monetization is regarding to casual players. So in this case, they need to actually figure out after the test that we need to focus either on casual players or mid-core players. Mid-core players, maybe we can do a premium game and just change different mechanics and monetization in the game, or either fit the casual players and have everything fit that. So game time and a little bit different tutorials and so on. So they realize there's a huge workload to be done. But so that's why, of course, for the hyper casual games or casual games, it's going to be more easier to do all these steps. But in the more mid-core, it's definitely, after the initial test, you need to still do some changes and optimization. So that's why it might take some time. But I recommend you to download it. It's a great game. It's one of my favorite tower defense games. So yeah, that's it. My question is, do you really think we can handle that work? Are you prepared for that? I don't want to scare you of self-publishing, because I think it's great and more companies should do it, be more independent. But actually there's a lot of workload to be done, and plan it really well. So after you plan it really well and pay attention to these things, then yeah, good luck with that, definitely. So thanks for having me, guys, and yeah, good luck to all of you that want to do self-publishing.